Hey loves, how are you? Had a message coming through all morning, which had to unpack a little bit, but I just feel like it needs to be shared and we can unpack it on here as we go. Just keep hearing like delusional. It's a delusional energy, but it's like there are like two sides to the coin. So I don't know who this is for. And it's definitely in the feminine collective. This is a message for the feminine. It's like Spirit is saying that there is a good way, or not a good, a useful, positive, constructive way to be delusional. And then there is a way which is very, very destructive. And it actually shows me like a soul's getting kind of pulled into this slipstream. I can see like a direct channel, maybe a soul on a journey, and then it's like sucked out, sucked off, pulled out, pulled off. I'm hearing that there are many ways. There are many ways to confuse, sideline, I'm hearing, and distract feminine spiritual souls who are looking, they're expanding, but they're also seeking. There's something about seeking, looking outside of self. I feel like this is a medicine drop, and what I mean by that is there could be a warning packed up in here. This is a very firm message. Be mindful of the type of energy that you open yourself to, or open yourself within, maybe. 222. The only thing to trust is yourself, not appearances, is what I'm hearing. There is a tendency, and we've all done it, we all do it, whether it's when we're looking to create businesses, do new projects, when we get into this spiritual world, it's like a whole other world has opened up that suddenly feels new, exciting, and more aligned with who we're becoming and our new interests and our ascension, our awakening, all of this stuff. I'm being shown like a pit of vipers. I'm telling you, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is a personal experience message. It ain't all rainbows and flowers out there. Quite the opposite. What I'm being asked to share is that there are many aspects of the spiritual community which are a complete falsity. And by that I mean they are not what they appear. And they basically cater for and perpetuate a romanticized ideal of what it means to be on this path. And that's what I'm hearing, romanticizing. Spirit is saying, do not romanticize the path. And do not romanticize people. And there's a butterfly there, a huge orange and black butterfly, Shanna. There's a lot of delusional romantification. Is that a word? Okay, so let's talk about the Dulu energy, which is actually the unhelpful one. Romanticizing twin flame unions. And I've witnessed this for myself in the last 6 months. A feminine energy which just wants it. They just want it. They're like, give it to me, because they think it's something. They've got an idea or an impression that they've received. They've picked up a mirror impression which is playing on parts of themselves where they have unmet needs, parts of themselves that they've never witnessed or seen. There's a lot of false light traps, and including around this whole notion of what it is, what it means, and what it looks like to be in. I don't even like the term twin flame. I don't normally use it, but in this case it's exactly what this is describing. I do believe in divine union. I've experienced it myself. It's a sacred container, is a conscious container, and that's what my partner and I have. But this whole romantification of this type of relationship is actually very, very damaging. It is inaccurate. It does not truly represent what it actually looks like, feels like. It's a complete underestimation, and I'm hearing bifurcation. It actually splits people off, their consciousness off from the truth of it. Isn't that interesting? Lots of false twin energy around there because there's lots of desperation. I said it. There's a lot of desperate energy around, and that's what I can feel. And this is a very loving, maternal message. Please, please, please don't get caught up in a romanticized ideal around this and then sell yourself short for something that you think it is, but it isn't. This is where the devil hides, in the detail. It hides in appearance. You know what's coming to me now is this do you remember I don't know, like the fairy tales and all the storybooks and fairy tales, and it's this classic portrayal of evil as beauty. You know that kind of, in the old stories and old fables where evil hides behind beauty. It's that kind of energy. This is an energy which is very, very prominent right now. Reasons not to go into the point. Stick to the point, Sarah. The point is, there's a good way to be delusional, and there's a way that will hurt you and harm you and put you further back, pull you out and put you further back on your journey. That's not to say that if you do meet somebody and you feel really swept up, I'm not here to say whether that is or isn't true. I'm not here to say whether that person is or isn't the right person. But what is coming through is that a lot are getting swept up in an ideal or an appearance of what things look like when it is not actually true. And it is false light, family. That is false light, because false light is defined by the effect that it has. No one's saying that people are intentionally misleading others. Nobody, some they might be, but this isn't really about that. False light is characterized by its effect. It doesn't matter about the intention, really. It doesn't matter if someone intended to hold a really sacred space. What matters is, did they or not? What is the end result? It's very much what actually is it in its effect, result, right now. That is the only important thing. Doesn't really matter how we got there, the justifications, explanations, all of this stuff. Oh yeah, but this, and yes, but that, and meaning well. None of it matters. What really matters, what actually matters, is how the effect is felt. Many things are set up for a purpose or in an energy or with an intention that is less than divine. So, and that could just be a self-serving energy. It doesn't make it wrong when people set up things and offerings and businesses and services as in a business mindset. You know, what do I get out of this? I'm not saying it's wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's not a judgment. But what's happening at this time of reckoning is, and this rebalance and reclamation is, it is the day of reckoning, in the sense that anything that was built on past energy is not supported moving forward. It's not true, it's not authentic, it hasn't got integrity in line with the divine. So it's being shown, it's being felt. But for many who haven't yet cultivated the muscle of discernment, it's very, very hard to see the differences between people, the differences between different types of light. Many people are being fooled by others because they don't yet have the inner compass to feel for themselves. So many are being fooled. They're being fooled by things on social media and appearance in some way. They're being fooled, and it's not even being fooled, it's being deceived, it's being tricked by an appearance. So the message today is to be really mindful of that energy, however it may come, look, or be felt. It's all very great and very nice and exciting to be swept up and swept off and, you know, in this kind of, in that romanticized ideal. It feels good, it appeals to certain parts of us as women. Actually, it can often be very different when somebody is genuinely what you need and what you're looking for. Have a very calm effect on your body, your nervous system. They just slide into your life. Like there's something around not chasing the buzz, not chasing the excitement as such, because often it's a superficial presentation of that person is what I'm hearing, or an energy that lacks depth. Be careful what you wish for, be careful what you ask for. And don't forget as well, like women have got very accepting of, in my opinion, all the wrong things. They don't accept themselves, but they accept everybody else is rubbish. But they don't accept themselves on a very core level. Women have got very accepting, when really a sovereign, you know, as a sovereign being, can we call back a little bit more energy of, well, what do you bring to the table? Because I know what I bring to the table. And rather than me, you, getting to the table and then pouring out everything that you have to give, because you've got a lot to give and that's what you do, rather than that happening, is there a place, you know, for being a bit more discerning there, being a bit more regal, sovereign? What do you bring to the table? Do you match what I have to offer and bring? And not only do you match it, but what are your, you know, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, in a lot of Asian traditions, when they get married and there's a huge, great big, like, week-long wedding and all this stuff. It's like a contract. Well, marriage is a contract anyway, but they're literally, like in some traditions and part of their faith, like the women like make a contract. They list all the things that they expect from their husband, they expect the husband to do. I'm not saying that we need to go back to some sort of, you know, right, okay, you know, because it goes back to an old kind of exchange thing, you know, what do you bring? It's a bit cold and contractual. However, there is a little bit of an energy of that coming through here. It's like drawing it back in a little, so that when somebody does come into your orbit, rather than just going straight on the feeling of excitement, oh my God, you know, it's a conscious man, or this is what I've been waiting, I asked for this and now it's come and it feels good and I'm really excited. That's not always a good indicator of the fact that this is any more genuine or has any depth or any substance, or this person can actually add something to your life. So I think we're being asked to check as women this kind of value counter that we have inside, and not to lose it completely and go into that delusional energy, which it is. It's a very kind of swept away. I'm seeing it a lot in the spiritual communities around twin flame, sacred union, all this stuff. It's just not the way it is. It's not the way any real relationship is, to be honest. And there's a lot of quite damaging concepts there, and the potential for a lot of bypassing, confusion. So can we as women bring in actually a little bit of our masculine energy in the most healthy, divine way? A little bit of structure and a pause and maybe a bit of logic and reason there. Because the deepest pleasures and vulnerability, surrender, joy, love comes from intimacy, not from that first flush of excitement. So the good way to be delusional is to be totally outrageously nonsensical about your own gifts, capacities and purpose in this life. People won't get it, and that's why it's delusional, because it's future focused, it's not now. You know, when I first got back here, I tend to come back to Durham when I'm like, you know, I need to make some more money, and come back after Glastonbury for 3 months, like barefoot and, you know, hair unwashed and all the rest of it. And when I first come back, I didn't have the money to give, like, share for the bills. But yet I'm walking around the kitchen affirming, because there's one thing that is part of my manifestation, part of something I would like for my body, and that's to have a couple of holidays with the girls, you know, spa days and all this sort of thing. So I'm walking around, you know, my physical situation is that at this moment I've got nothing in my bank account, but I'm walking around the kitchen saying, oh wow, this spa resort is amazing, never been to Africa before, what a blessing, we're going to see elephants tomorrow, we're going on safari. Because I'm there in my creation, I'm already living a life, I'm bringing in my future all of the time and waiting for the physical reality to catch up. I'm not bogged down by my circumstances anymore. My housemate was like, what? I was like, oh, nothing. Thinks I've lost the plot. He thinks I'm in woo-woo land. He thinks I've really lost my mind. I'm sandwiched short of a picnic. So to a lot of people, it is delusional to not be completely obsessed by your physical circumstances. That's the best delusional to be in right now. It's a delusion that's based on expansion, on truth, on heart's desires. Protect yourself, and it's not like an old protection, defensive, fear-based, oh, I've got to cover my heart, I can't open up, I can't be vulnerable. It means be a bit savvy, be a bit wise, keep your eyes open, and understand that, you know, when you really want something, it can leave you open to a little bit of naivety. If you really desire something, you really want it, and you hold that frequency for yourself, it will happen. You don't have to grab at the first thing that comes. You don't have to be looking out for it all the time and allowing your mind to go into a space that isn't grounded in any reality or truth. Stick to you and your solid grounding on this journey, your relationship to God's source, not to the external reality and how that appears. There's a lot that's there specifically to trick, distract and luring, the temptation energy. The devil is coming through this lury, Jezebel-y, predatory, sexual. It's absolutely icky. Be mindful. So that's what's coming through today. I trust that serves somebody. I hope you're all looking after your beautiful bodies. Thank you so much for being here, being on this channel. Any likes, shares, subscribes, I greatly appreciate all of you. And I'm sending you love and a big hug. Until next time.